bitches. Hey, what's good, y'all? It's Friday, and if it's Friday, that means it is your opportunity to be heard on the Audible Sports Podcast, where sports meets life and culture, or as others may say, where the barbershop meets the cookout. I am half of that dynamic duo that is Bobby G and Wildcard Mark. What's happening, bro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is, man. It's another Friday. A pleasure to be here with my bro. And man, it's the Audible Podcast, man. Let's get to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Got a nice one for you today. We can do something. I guess it ain't really different. It is a sports podcast, you know. But we don't talk much baseball. But you know, the baseball playoffs started this week. Both of our cities are represented in these playoffs. So you know, we
hmm
decided to do a little bit. You know, but before we get into that, of course, if you're familiar, you know what I'm about to say, and if you're new, pay attention. Go ahead, do me a favor. Follow the directions on your screen. Go ahead, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. Turn your notifications on so you know the next time that we are here, and you can be heard as well, which is every Friday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, with that being said, oh, got him coming in early. Derrick Henry scored again. Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens put it on the Buffalo Bills. Yes, they did. Shout out to Allen. What's happening, bro?
What's
Hey,
going on?
Cowboys got a tough one this weekend. They got a tough one this weekend. We're actually getting to our picks later, so.
Hmm?
But first things first. Bam. So we can get into. We're gonna celebrate the baseball postseason by giving you our best MLB playoff runs, our favorite teams, favorite playoff adventures. You know, teams that stole our hearts, as the best commentators in the game would say.
Yeah.
Killer TV. Are we obsessed with serial killers? Are we overly obsessed? What is our obsession? Why are our We're gonna speak on it for a couple of minutes. And of course, as usual, we have our Fit Friday challenge at the end to talk about a little bit about men's mental health. Uh, this is going to be painful. Shout out to my man Jabron. Yeah, I mean, we've experienced a lot of heartbreak in Cleveland, but hey, that actually not going to be that painful. We've had some proud moments in Cleveland baseball. Our proudest moments are in baseball. The freaking Browns have sucked forever, and I mean, the Cavs did give us a championship, but before that championship, it was a lot of letdown. And hey, fair or not fair, hey, the Indians slash Guardians like carried the city for decades, so not that
True.
painful.
So.
Um, but as usual, you know how we started off, kick everything off with shoutouts and honorable
Yep.
mentions. Uh, who you want to shout out today?
Hey, man, I got to give a shout out to my cousin, my kinfolk,
Okay.
Kirk kinfolk, Kirk Cousins of the Dirty Birds. It worked last night. That man threw for almost half a K last night. That man, 506,
Yeah,
four
five on
tuds.
nine.
Yeah, 509, four tuds. Bad interception. We could have done
Yeah.
without that interception though, Kurt. But regardless, I will not let that one bad interception overshadow the four tutties and 509 that you threw. You literally put the Buccaneers defense on flames last night. Hey man, I just got to give a shout out to that guy because what he did last night
Yeah.
definitely put the Phoenix gallery to hush a little bit. They won't be chanting Michael Penix no time soon. So shout out to Kirk Cousins for
Yeah.
making sure that he keeps the Phoenix gallery at bay for at least another week. At
You
least
like
another.
that? You like
You
that? Absolutely, man. That was a hell of a game. Very entertaining to watch, especially since we've been doing the Thursday night show. We usually get some duds, but
mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel you on that one.
No doubt. No doubt.
For me, I got a three. I got a 3-piece. Get the people a 3-piece.
Mm.
And if you've been following, you know exactly where I'm going, man. We lost some legends this week. Shout out John Amos, Dikembe Mutombo, Pete Rose. I swear, man, they say it comes in threes, and this is about as good of a threesome as you can get, man. Should be Hall of Fame baseball player, Hall of Fame athlete, one of the greatest actors of our generation.
Former Chief, by the way, played for the Chiefs back in his day. A lot of people don't realize that. That's why he was a huge Chiefs fan. Amos used to play for the squad.
Facts. Dikembe was out of the blue, man, going too soon.
Yeah. Not even 60. He like 48, 58.
58.
Yeah.
Pete and whether or not you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame,
he should be. Come on,
you can't erase his career.
Exactly.
Like he did what he did, and Charlie Hustle, man, known for his just giving 100%, running over catchers in the All-Star game. That's what I'm talking about. NBA players, you see, this man blew up the catcher in the All-Star game. Talk about no free layups, man. Hey, Charlie Hustle was about that life. Of course, John Amos, who will forever be remembered as James from Good Time. This is one of the great actors of our generation, man. Raised a lot of us. Myself, I remember those old episodes. Matter of fact, I caught a couple yesterday. So shout out. I'm saying, man. Hey, shout out to those three gentlemen, and you know they will be missed. Which brings me, I guess, to what would be the opposite end of the spectrum. Let's see, I'm talking about Kyle Pitts. Yeah, shout out to Kyle Pitts, who came out of witness protection last night. Hey, he did, man. Hey, but we talked about it last night on Thursday night, man. A quarterback can make a huge difference, and it's showing for both he and Drake London that the quarterback play apparently has been a huge difference because they're both like coming out of the shells this season. We got Pete Rose is a Hall of Famer. That's a crime he's not in. A crime. Baseball needs to get over itself. The hypocrisy is putrid. Understand that absolute racists are in the Hall of A.
Hey, you said a mouth. No lies.
No argument for me. Hey, no argument for me there, bro.
Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some people. I mean, just look at who we consider the greatest, or not we, but consider one of the greatest. Babe Ruth.
Wasn't no angel.
He had his issues. So yeah, you hear nothing from me there, and that's every sport, man. Every sport. Yeah, you have your great ones in there, but you got your problem children that also get recognized. Hey, Dennis Rodman is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
I said I'm gonna leave it at that.
I'm gonna leave it at that. So yeah, I don't know though. I feel like they shouldn't. Don't put him in. I feel like he should not be put in. Not because I don't think he deserved to be in, but if you didn't put the man in while he was alive, like don't put me in now.
Yeah, it's disingenuous.
Right. don't do it now. Like
I feel you.
just let it be. Let it be.
No,
Uh,
I feel you. I feel you, dog. Because don't put me in just because I passed away. You should have, like. So here's my biggest thing. My thing is that
Shout out Auntie.
what's going on, At? I just thought it was just real raggedy of how the Hall of Fame committee, which is made up of writers and stuff like that, they make it a popularity contest.
Yeah.
Make it about people who they liked, who gave them the scoops and the stories, and so they want to make it seem like baseball didn't profit off of what Pete Rose did in his
Absolutely.
game. Uh, and say what you want about, yes. So two things can be right at the same time. Yes, he broke a rule. You can't gamble. But the moment that MLB start getting in bed with DraftKings and FanDuel, and then you got,
Right.
there's a sign that says, "Don't gamble on baseball. You will be suspended for life." But right next to it is a FanDuel sign with a promo code. So it's like the hypocrisy is crazy, bro. So I don't
Yeah.
understand it. I definitely don't understand the thing about the steroids thing. We talk about the whole steroids era that gave Major League Baseball a huge boost in popularity and ratings, and you weren't testing
Mm-hmm.
for it. You know what I'm saying? You weren't testing for it
Yeah.
at that time. And then all of a sudden, now down the road, you shun everybody that participated in the quote unquote steroid era. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on with baseball. I think it's very disingenuous. It's very disgusting how they behave and move the needle when it comes to certain people. But yeah, man, I feel what you're saying. Like, don't put him in now just because he passed away. You had
Right.
20, almost 30 years to make that decision to put him in before he passed away. You know what I'm saying? Like literally.
Absolutely.
So
I think the real reason that they never put him in, and yeah, I'm gonna go there, is
you
because if they put him in,
gotta put
then
Barry
they
in.
have, yeah, you got to let other people slide,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it is, and they don't want to,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to. So,
Bingo.
but even though, like you said, I mean, forget the testing. If you listen to the players talk, uh, more than half the players in Major League Baseball were juicing during that era.
More than half.
And so, if your biggest thing is, oh, it was unfair competition, if more than half the league is doing it, then that's absolutely fair competition.
Yeah. Then I
So,
mean,
what did they do wrong?
you're one amongst the many.
Yeah, exactly. If half the league is doing it, then that's absolute fair competition. Then we was all on the same playing field. So
It's, it's
your fault if you wasn't doing it.
pretty much.
So everybody, no, he was never suspended, never failed the drug test
Oh,
in
right.
his career.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Jabron. He there's not one positive test that he's ever taken. Now,
Nope.
people can speculate all you want.
His
No,
head got too big. Maybe he had an inflated ego. I don't know.
I mean, it was Barry Bonds. He quite did though. But I'm just saying though, like until you come with hardcore proof with evidence that he did it, and it's all speculation. Like that's all. That's all I'm saying. Like come on, man. When have we come to a country where a guy that has brought so much popularity like Barry Bonds did to baseball, and he can't get into the rightful place of being in the Hall of Fame? Pete Rose can't get his rightful place to be in the Hall of Fame, but we got a guy that has multiple felonies and he's running for president.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you know. Look,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not.
leave that alone because that dude be canceling people for real.
Yeah, but I'm not the smartest guy in the room. But I'm just saying, like let's put shit into perspective. How can we, you know?
Manfred's gonna wait till the last month of his tenure to reinstate Pete Rose and leave it for the next commissioner. That's it. That seems to be how baseball works.
Yeah, they work so backwards, bro.
But yeah. Before we get into the good stuff, I do want to recognize one other thing and shout out one other thing. It is October, and as
Mm-hmm.
we all know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Sure is.
So, shout out to those who have fought the good fight. Shout out to those that we have lost. Shout out to those who continue to fight the good fight and persevere through this deadly disease.
Big fact.
And man, just keep battling, man. Keep supporting. Uh,
Yes.
This is a disease that literally affected 99% of households in the world, not just America.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's show support for those who are struggling through, and continue to support, and hopefully, one day, you know, we hear those magic words that we found a cure. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate you saying that. My great grandmother fortunately passed away from it. Now a year now, my mother is 100% in remission. So it's been a whole
hey,
year, been clean. So yeah, man. I definitely take that situation near and dear to my heart because I'm a huge mama's boy. I don't know what would have happened to me had that situation took my mother. So yeah, man. Keep supporting these like Susan G. Komen and other standout organizations that are trying to find a cure, man. Because hopefully it be that one day that like Bobby said, man, we'll find a cure for it, and this will be something that we will never have to worry about it. Hopefully, never again. So
absolutely, man. Mom through it during COVID. Thanks, she's been. Oh, absolutely, man. Shout out to Miss
shout
Paralysis.
out, yep,
Absolutely.
shout out to your moms, man, for real.
Yeah. With that, uh, something that some people are calling a cancer to society, and others are just calling good entertainment. But what is our obsession with killer television?
Mm.
Lately, two series been released. The Monstars, a story about the Menendez brothers. Of course, another series been released on FX, the American Sports Story, the Aaron Hernandez story, and that's not too long ago we had the Jeffrey Dahmer story, which like took America by storm. Um, some people think it's insensitive to the victims' family members having to relive this. Some people think that they're humanizing these guys too much. Um, I understand it's a touchy situation. Like I said on the show before, I lost my mother to violent crime. Um, it's is it just entertainment? Is it that we just want to know? Is it our need to know why things happen? Is it just us just wanting drama? What is our addiction to these type of shows? I mean, this you got the first 48, you got Law and Order. Crime shows are some of the most highly rated shows in television. Like, what is it about these shows that just draws us to it, man? What's your thoughts?
I think it's a multitude of things. I think even going back to uh, old, Eastern European civilization, the first, Romans and the Catholics and all those people
True.
over there. I mean, look at all the blood sport that they had. They had gladiators, literally built arenas for people to get killed at. uh, they literally loved the sport of blood being spilled for their entertainment, and I think that's kind of carried over to Western civilization, where it's just that's just kind of what it is. The
Mm-hmm.
whole barbaric nature of that stuff that's been entertainment for centuries. I think that plays a part into it. The drama, definitely, it's a different form of drama, but it's also a different form of reality TV. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you go outside your door, and that's
Glad you said that.
that's
Because a lot
that's
of people don't know.
yeah,
Really, reality television was birthed
off of
with
cops.
the Menendez trial.
Oh yeah, yeah, it
Remember that
was
trial was televised.
televised. Yep.
So yeah, that was televised, and then that followed up with the OJ trial, and then you kind of that was like literally the birth of true crime TV.
Hmm. So
Oh my goodness,
Adam is
what is
hilarious.
going on here? It's Freak Off Friday.
That's hilarious.
Shout out Adam.
So I think it's a multitude of things that play into it, and then once people get addicted to it, it's kind of
Let's
hard
go
for them to
Lakers.
kind of put it down. They're kind of just stuck to it. It's uh, so much different characteristics that draw people in about that stuff, and I
Okay, well,
you know
seems to be the
uh,
drama for most. I don't understand the romanticizing, mostly women, of the
the
murderers.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't understand that neither, but I mean, teach his own, I guess.
Yeah, because a lot of like these dudes got married in prison.
Prison,
Yeah,
and next you
in
know
prison. They were in prison, and
now
chicks married these dudes.
they're getting consequences and all of a sudden and shit.
Saying famously, Ted Bundy married his wife like in the middle of his trial.
hmm
She was on the stand testifying, and he just looked and said, "Will you marry me?" And it turns out, by some loophole in the law, it was a legally binding marriage.
Mm,
Like, this is crazy.
can't make it up, man. I don't know, man. It's like don't get me wrong. Like I can't lie. I like my first 48. I love my bum, 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 some Law and Order.
Yeah,
Especially when you're talking, and you start looking at motherfucker. So yeah, I don't know, man. Is they do a lot of things to grab you in, and what it does is they like to obviously emulate a lot of reality stories that have happened on some of these shows. So
yeah,
um, it kind of gives you like I guess a depiction on what could have happened. That caused that story to happen. So I mean, it's a lot of things that kind of turned it into a lot of dramatic situations and it's one of those things that people love to watch, and unfortunately, it is not going to go away. Like you
nah,
said,
nah.
the ratings on it is so crazy that I mean, besides sports, everything else is pretty much crime related or medical
Yeah,
related.
yeah,
Yeah,
or just reality in general.
yeah,
I think pretty soon scripted television is going to be a thing of the past. It's going to be 100% reality. Uh, but yeah, it's just for me personally. I'm one of the I'm a wide person. I like to try and look into the psyche, see what was going on. I'm I'm a I'm a fan of profilers. I find
mm,
that line of work interesting. Just the psychology behind uh, it's kind of the matching wits game, I guess. To for lack of a better term.
hey,
Like
I understand.
if I could start life over and start on a new career path that didn't involve sports, I would probably be an FBI profiler.
All right, I
I would
get.
go that route.
Hey, test your mind and your
Yeah,
you know try to
yeah,
understand the mind of a killer and mind of a
yeah. Just yeah. What motivates? Like I would like to be on the end of trying to catch one of these dudes, figure out that next move, to try and prevent the next event from happening. So
I
for
get.
me, that's my thing. Obviously, since I can't do it on that level, I get my kicks from watching true crime, and it's just the show. One of my favorite shows. It doesn't come on anymore, but I just found out it's available on Max, so I started watching it again from the beginning. There's a show called "I Almost Got Away with It," where, and it's a show because I love reenactments. Reenactments are so. If you are not a fan of reenactments, man, I need you to rethink your life. Reenactments are some of the funniest. It's the like the acting is so bad or it's so like oh man, just nothing beats a good reenactment. But this show is told from the perspective of the person who committed the crime, and basically they're saying how they almost got away with it. So they're telling the story 9 times out of 10 from prison. Some of the people have actually finished their time and they're telling the story, but they're going through the detail, and you get to hear from their perspective, like
Mm-hmm.
what they were thinking each step of the way. Like the last episode I watched was this guy that, like, in broad daylight killed his baby's mom,
Mm-hmm.
like uh, in a parking lot of like a McDonald's.
Damn.
Three times, shot her in the head, pat pat pat, and ended up running to Mexico and and got married again. Got married again. Obviously, he didn't tell the wife what he did, but she's found him acting weird, pressing him, hey, what's going on? And then he tells her, yeah, I'm on the run for killing my ex-wife.
Oh,
Did she leave?
no.
Nope. Like, what do you think? And I think they're still married to. As a matter of fact, I think he gets out in like a couple of years because in the end he was successfully on the run for like 8 years. Ended up getting caught, got sentenced to 26 years in prison, and I think he's actually getting out in the next couple of years, like maybe 2027.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's one of my shows. But I don't know, man. It's one of those weird things. I guess the dark side of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Like we get our secret thrill.
Yeah.
Um,
To a certain degree, we're all barbaric in a way. You know what I'm saying?
I can live with that. I mean, it's not even only that, man. Like recently, me and my wife went to a murder mystery show.
Mm.
It was a dinner show, and it was a murder mystery thing. One of the Who Done It, where the audience is involved, and it's a good evening. But there's things like that are successful. Um, people throw parties. The Who Done It
Mm-hmm.
parties.
Like playing
That's
Clue.
yeah, yeah. Like just these things are just so ingrained in our society. It's you know it's just weird. I guess it almost makes you think wonder why would murder be illegal if we take so much joy in participating in everything surrounding it but the act.
Ooh, that's actually a thought provoking question you just asked there.
Right. We enjoy everything surrounding murder but the act. But this is gonna sound messed up, but we vilify the people that do it, but we celebrate everything they do.
Mm.
It's weird. But with all that being said, if you have not checked out either series, check them out. They're very good.
With all that being said,
Yeah. With all that being said, uh,
hey, we're all parts of the whole world. I think we're just to a certain extent we're a bloodthirsty society.
yeah. I don't know. Have you checked out either series?
No, but I have seen a similar series to them that kind of
Right.
have the same premise.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where especially on Netflix, they got a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to the hear the killer side of the story.
Yeah.
Um, and I kind of watch them. Sometimes I don't because I still kind of get like the heebie-jeebies. Like
You said the heebie-jeebies.
hey man, sometimes it's like, hey man, this dude look crazy, dog. Like
Yeah.
like this dude looked like he definitely did something. Like, yeah, this
Yeah.
guy crazy.
It's also for me a case in the sometimes brings back nostalgia. Like I vividly remember the time period of the Menendez thing happening, like
Yeah.
and that leading into then the OJ situation and how that is
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
that
You had a lot going on. You had Rodney King going on at that time. There was a lot going on in America at that time. Um,
especially the one I remember very vividly was they did a show True Crimes on
mm,
Netflix, the Olympic bomber
mm,
in,
yeah,
Atlanta, Georgia.
yeah,
So that was a good series. So um like you said, I think some of those things are kind of nostalgic because you remember, uh, where you were
Yeah.
when all this stuff took place. I remember exactly where I was in '94 when OJ was in the Bronco going
Oh
down
yeah.
the
I will
highway.
never forget that day. Pissed me
Yeah,
off
so
royally.
so it's like you remember these times, at least for those who were alive to have been there. Yeah, I think stuff like that kind of does a multitude of things for people, not just for entertainment, but just uh, you know go back in memory lane sometimes. So
Yeah. Uh, but it is what it is. Like I say, check them out. I mean, if you're into that thing, yeah, check them out. They're a good watch, and it's the Menendez thing is in its entirety on Netflix. The Aaron Hernandez story is on FX, and I think they release episodes weekly. I think on
mm,
Wednesdays. I think so far they've released it's up to episode 4. So next
something
week
like
would be like yeah, so it's next week would be 5.
say
In
this.
his thing, I find it they're like focused so much on his sexuality.
Yes, dog. Me and the wife, we were saying the same thing. We were like, are they trying to justify what he did do? Like, because like,
Yeah,
and not trying to give away too much if you guys want to watch it. It's just like Bobby said, they're focusing so much on his sexuality, his I guess his relationship with his dad. That was kind of
yeah,
a weird little situation too.
mm-hmm,
And it was like I guess they're trying to explain how Aaron Hernandez goes from a multi-million dollar tight end to killer. I guess they're trying to
right.
explain. Um and that's I guess that's the best I can come up with. So but yeah, man, it's and some of the actors they got playing Belichick and Kraft are so crazy.
Oh, just see Cam Newton.
Oh yeah, yeah, like it's so crazy, bro. The people,
Spoiler alerts for those who haven't seen it. There's Cam Newton is in there for like it got the dude playing Cam Newton. If you didn't know, Cam Newton was on the Florida Gators team once upon a time
yeah,
before he had to transfer.
yeah,
Yeah,
that is,
it's wild, and it's like, but it's like I understand wanting to show like the internal conflict of I guess not being able to fully be who he was, um, or just how the conflict and how he became that way. Because I guess they you go in and they show that he was possibly or allegedly abused by a family member, his uncle,
mm-hmm.
and that could have played a part in why he had those feelings. And then like to show the like you the whole time it's like he wants to talk to somebody but he can't, and
That's what
either
I was.
doesn't know how or just feels like he can't.
Yeah, that was kind of the thought process I was getting to. Is almost like he's trying to not become the monster that he's becoming, and
Yeah,
it's like he's crying out for help, but he's doing it
yeah,
all the wrong ways. So it's like,
right.
yeah, I get what
And
you're saying.
yeah, like they show him have a sit down with Tim Tebow, and however how to with all, I know there's Hollywood and everything, but however true this is, um, like I can't tell you all the way my issue, like especially with Tim Tebow being who he was,
Hmm.
like okay, you're supporting me, but because of who you are, if I really tell you the truth, will you now shun me? Because if you do, like that's gonna send him off on a whole nother thing.
Hmm.
Like it, and like that could be a real struggle for people at times.
Big facts.
I'm not that without trying to. Again, the whole thing is like not like obviously you're not trying to justify because it feels like his anger issues had nothing to do with his sexuality.
Mm.
To me, his anger issues came from respect.
Mm.
Like anytime he felt disrespected, is when he
Yeah.
went off the cuff. Like you see, like because his sexuality didn't have shit with him. They show a scene where Urban Meyer he goes, he's high at practice and he's just messing around, and Urban Meyer benched him the next day at practice, and then he like hauls off and hits the dude his back up. That ain't had nothing to do with his sexuality. He was pissed he got benched.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like and like in I guess in real life it was known that his nickname was Chico. In the series you find out how his name became Chico, and it was because when he first got down to Florida, some bartender was basically using it like a racial slur, calling him Chico, basically calling him a spit.
Yeah.
And again, his sexuality didn't had nothing to do with him whooping dudes' ass. Him disrespecting them had. So it was like, but they're not really going down that hole. It's just like they're just overtly dramatizing his sexuality, and I'm like, there's a whole nother mental lane y'all can explore.
Not even tapping
like, right. You just showing, yeah, this happened, but watch him in the car with this dude from Tinder. I know Tinder wasn't around, but or was it? I don't know. It wasn't around, but yeah, y'all showing every time you see the dude in alone, his laptop's in the corner with some pornographic material on it, and it's like, really, y'all. But hey, and I got who made the series? Ryan Murphy. Come on, Ryan, you better than that. You've made some great television. You're better than that.
I feel you.
But
yeah, crazy series, bro.
yeah, all I can say is, or I wonder is, who's next? What's happened in the last 20 years to know who's going to be next, or when will we get series that actually matter? How about we get a Colin Kaepernick story? Let's go in depth in that situation. Let's go in depth on Mike Tyson, man. Let's get another Tyson series, or Ray Lewis. How about that one?
Well, I know they just did a Tyson series on Hulu about a year ago, and it actually turned out pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. So Hernando's issues were nurture and nature. His parents were something. Facts. Like his mom gets with his aunt's husband. That's crazy, bro. And yeah, like that's the part of the disrespect. Like, I mean, it feels like he got that from his dad. But like, be a man. Don't let nobody disrespect you. Like, if you doing certain actions make you soft, and of course, you can see his dad was a big homophobe, so he wasn't gonna allow any of that. But along with that was the basically don't take no shit attitude that's kind of instilled in him, but also I feel like if him being the person he was because if his anger, if the connection between his sexuality and his anger, if there was a connection, I feel he would have done something to his dad, but he didn't.
Never
Listen, I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong, or maybe he didn't have a chance because his dad passed away when he was 15. So maybe if his dad would have lived to, longer into his adulthood, maybe his dad might have been his first victim. Who knows? But that's just my thoughts on it. Like, the pressure from them was unreasonable. Yeah, and that's something I've tried to not do to like my youngest son. Like, yeah, I had my sports dreams. That's done and over for him. And a lot of dads can't wait. I'm gonna have a son. I'm gonna put the ball in his career. I never wanted to be that. I wanted to give him the chance to grow and figure out what he liked to do and support that. I didn't want to put a football in his crib. I didn't want to put a basketball in his crib. I didn't want to put a soccer ball in his crib and kind of have him grow up and feel like he had to do something because because I picked it for him. And great point, Auntie. That's one of the things. Like his dad had his opportunity and he messed it up because he got into a legal situation, to which then he put that pressure on his older brother. To which then he put that pressure on Aaron, and as it turns out, Aaron is the most talented one. So not only does he get the pressure of just having to do it because I did it, but you actually have the talent. So now I'm really gonna push you, and I'm really gonna, So yeah, he definitely got beat down by that pressure. Phone call from his mom while he was in prison was telling that his parents were deviants. I remember seeing something about that. They haven't got to that in the series yet. But yeah, I remember hearing something about that. But just a lot of his phone calls in general from prison were weird. Like when he was talking to his wife, him not wanting to focus on things, or just him being so high, like taking himself, like, bro, relied heavily on weed to escape whatever he had going on. And that's another thing. Obviously, the CTE thing is gonna be a talking point from this series. That's why I hate the lawsuit in the NFL that the players are suing the NFL, because Aaron Hernandez only played 3 years in the NFL. The third year, all this stuff happened. I never played in the NFL. I've had 2 diagnosed concussions. I think I've had 2 other concussions. Bro, you don't come out of the womb in the NFL. These guys have been playing football for, at a minimum, 4 years. Some guys don't start until high school. And at a maximum, a lot of these guys have been playing tackle football since they were 7, 8 years old. So you're talking about guys who've been playing for 14 years before they get to the NFL. How much brain trauma is suffered till that point?
Yeah.
Like, but I don't see nobody suing the NCAA. I don't see nobody suing Pop Warner. And yeah, that's what I mean. I see, like these guys, like, you're not born in the NFL. You play high contact football, and football it is a gladiator sport. Like you're going out there. Yes, you're not intentionally trying to hurt someone, but I'm trying to hit you as hard as I can. And then depending on where you play, you're not necessarily taught the best techniques on how to do that. And if you're not taught the best techniques, that could cause more damage. That's why you see guys going to the pro leading with their head. No, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't have been doing it. But they've been doing it since they were 8 years old. This is all I know. This is how I know how to do stuff. But even still, how much did that play a part in who he became?
I mean, I think there's a lot of factors in this situation, bro. But like you said, Netflix is really just only honing in on a couple of aspects that really made them this way. But
yeah,
I get it. I understand the angles that they're going at because it's Hollywood. They want certain things to fit a certain. Now, how much is it true? We don't know. That's the thing about Hollywood. It can make certain things exasperate them just for storytelling purposes. So I mean, it's crazy. But the whole series is nuts, man. I think the whole series is nuts, man. So y'all get to check it out, man.
Absolutely. Like I said, Aaron Hernandez things on FX. Check that out weekly on Wednesdays. I mean, there's also other documentaries you can watch, but the one we're currently talking about is on the FX series. The Hernandez story is currently on Netflix, just like you see on the screen. So, let's see, check those out, man. Come back to that episode, comment, hit us on social media, man. We'd love to hear what y'all think about it. On to brighter news, because, man, talking about all the cycle stuff, man, and what I'm going to see tonight. I got my daddy-daughter date set up. We're going to see Joker 2 later tonight. So I will have my field of psychopaths for the day. Yeah. Oh man, it better be good too, or I'm really gonna snap.
He said it better be good too.
It better be good. And we're here to talk about baseball playoffs, man. It is that time of year, America's favorite pastime. The playoffs are kicked off. Your Kansas City Royals pulled off the dub. The Detroit Tigers, probably the story of the season. They were like 4 games under 500 at the trade deadline. Went on an amazing run. I think they're 33-13 since the trade deadline. Made a run to sneak into the playoffs last week of the season, and then pulled the upset in the wild card round versus the Astros. Now they're in the division series against my Guardians. So it made us think, man, to celebrate this time of year, we're going to give you our 10 favorite postseason runs or champions or however we want to list them off. I'll just go ahead and kick it off, sir. I feel like I've been talking for like 2 hours straight.
Nah, you good. No, I definitely, the Boston Red Sox breaking the curse. I want to say, was it 4?
Was it? I actually got something right in front of me. Yeah, 04, 2004 World Series. Red Sox, Cardinals.
Yeah, 04.
I was at squad that year, too.
They had a hell of a squad, and of course that was a last little tidbits of Manny Ramirez that we were seeing in the Major League Baseball. So Big Poppy, which is crazy because I used to watch David Ortiz kill my Royals when he was a Twin, and he used to DH there, and then he catapulted to the stratosphere once he got to Boston, and he basically became a folklore. So yeah, that was a great squad. Terry Francona did a great job of getting them boys to break the curse. They're talking about almost damn near 100 years of breaking just bad curses against the Red Sox. So that playoff run was definitely big and one of the funnest ones that I've watched for sure.
All right, got you. Well, my number 10 is a team that didn't even make the World Series. But the 2001 Seattle Mariners. At the time, they set 116 games. They set I think the American League record for most wins in the season. Ichiro's rookie year, and he won MVP and Rookie of the Year same season. Obviously, he went on to have a Hall of Fame career, one of the greatest hitters in baseball history. But that team was like that.
Nah, no doubt.
It is David Bell, Ichiro, Edgar Martinez was still doing it. John Root was still doing it. Freddie Garcia, young pitcher, you remember him? Jamie Moyer, like they had a nice squad. Won 116 games. Like many teams, though, they just happened to run into the New York Yankees and couldn't get it done.
Like always,
couldn't get it done. Got beat 4-1. And they actually put out my Indians too in the ALDS. So we beat the Indians, lost to the Yankees 4-1. But yeah, watching that team was great. It was just a shame that Griffey wasn't around during these good Seattle years. So imagine him and Ichiro in the lineup together. Man.
Yeah. Who you gonna pitch around that one?
Right. Man. All right, go for it, bro.
Yeah, man. Sorry to take a stab at your Cleveland Indians at this point in time, but definitely I remember the 1997 Florida Marlins winning that World Series. Definitely. Back when they were playing in Pro Player Stadium, and cheering the Dolphins before it became Hard Rock, whatever it's called. But I definitely remember that one for sure. I mean, so many memories of watching that go down because it's like, wow, I did not expect because the Indians were a juggernaut at that point in time, man.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a team that just got inserted into Major League Baseball maybe 2 or 3 years in their existence. So the fact that they made it to that point, took down the big bad Indians. Great memory of my childhood for sure.
Um, I'll go ahead and piggyback because that was actually I'll flip them forward because I got to rearrange my list. So yeah, I had them on my list as well. Also a piece of nostalgia because I was there.
Oh, really?
So I was working at the stadium at the time, so I vividly remember that. I remember meeting Michael Buffer in the basement of the stadium. The first game in Cleveland, they had him come out and do the "Let's Get Ready to Rumble." Um, so yeah, the city was lit. That was a fun time to be in Cleveland. Um, that time, that team was the first wild card team to win the World Series. What
Mm,
people don't know. As a matter of fact, to this day, they're the only team in Major League Baseball that has won a World Series. They've never won their division.
really?
Yeah, they've never won their division. They have two World Series titles, never won their division.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so definitely I'll join you with saying that.
Yeah.
Who you got
And,
next?
no, and I'm a double back with the Marlins because in 2003 took down
Yeah.
the big bad mighty Yankees. And literally were winning yet another World Series in probably in the first 10 years of existence. So
Mm-hmm.
hey, the Marlins did a lot of things.
Yeah.
Josh Beckett was on there on that squad.
Yeah.
We got to remember that was Juan Pierre was on there.
Yep.
Uh, so yeah, such a young squad. They were fun to watch, very exciting, and the way that they took down uh, the Yankees was
Yeah.
crazy. And then I'm actually recall something back to him when it gets back to me. But yeah, I definitely remember that 2003 series. That was great.
Yeah. I remember that team on my list as well. I'll get remember that was the year. I can't remember the guy's name, but they had the controversy against the Cubs where dude reached over,
Yes,
took
I was
took the took the fly
no,
ball from Moises Alou.
that was my number 7.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about. I was going to
yeah.
put a reference to it. Yeah,
Yeah, man became the most hated man in Chicago.
he had to leave, dog.
Yeah, he lucky they wasn't drilling back then, bro. Woo.
Mm.
But that's that squad again. That was their second World Series championship, second time that they won as a wild card, solidifying that they have more World Series titles than division titles. But yeah, that was a nice stacked young squad. Who was my young buck that was on there? Uh, Miguel Cabrera.
I was about to say that. That was a young Miggy.
Yeah, young Miguel Cabrera was on that squad. Sheffield, I think, remember correctly, he was on that squad. Of course, you had Beckett. You still had Levon, if I'm not mistaken, Levon Hernandez. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that was the best team money could buy. And then like the next season, the owner just blew up the whole team, traded
Screwed up.
everybody.
He's like, I can't afford them,
You got next?
Oh yeah, back to that number 7. I definitely got to talk about the '03 Cubs, man.
Hmm.
Bartman Ball,
That's
Steve Bartman.
that's his name.
He was sitting there in the stands. I had a little Walkman on. Took the ball away from Moses Alou trying to catch it, and you talking about they end up making a 30 for 30 about the man. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, literally for years he couldn't live in Chicago. He had to leave,
Mm,
and the only problem is that there's Cubs fans all over the world. So wherever he went to, there's been people that's been giving that man hell ever since.
yeah.
Uh, so it's crazy how they treated that man for that situation. It, hey man, look, I understand they were not feeling that guy because you talking about drought. I mean, it was worse than the Red Sox, the drought that the Cubs
Yeah.
were through. So they gave that man hell, hell,
Yeah.
hell, hell. So
And they
it
had to
was,
wait 13 more years. After 13 years, bad luck. It's almost like they broke a mirror.
yeah, they gave it.
But hey, shout out to him because what people don't pay attention to is Hey, he took it like a man. He interfered with that play, and he sat there and took everything that people
Oh,
throwing beer bottles, hot dogs, pop, and he sat there and took it.
hold
It
on.
was
Yeah.
security had to come get him and make him
Oh,
leave.
yes. Yes. Yes.
Like so yeah. Shout out to him. He took it like a man. Like, hey, I know I fucked up, and hey,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, people
hey,
were ready. They were ready to kill that man in the stands. Man.
bruh. Yeah, so, but yeah, that team also that was a loaded team for the Cubs, and yeah, they definitely a Chicago Cleveland World Series would have been fun to watch that season.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
for me, I'm gonna go with a combo. I'm gonna go with the 1992 and 93 Toronto Blue Jays.
Ooh, talk about it,
Uh,
Joe. Man.
yeah, Joe Carter, former Cleveland Indian. Uh, we let him walk, and he went to Toronto, and he got the job done. Back to back, combined, they went 16-8 in both of those playoff runs. He famously hit the home run to seal. I think it was the second World Series against the Phillies. Uh, a World Series that's referenced in the movie Big Daddy by Adam
Mm.
Sandler. That's apparently when the kid was conceived. At a Hooters in Toronto after the World Series. But yeah, that those teams were fun to watch. I think it's the first team that I can remember in baseball winning back to back series um, as a youngster. So those teams had me wanting to go out and swing the bat. So yeah, shout out to the Toronto Blue Jays.
Love it. Love it. Where we at? Number 6?
I
Yeah,
don't even know. I ain't been counting.
I don't know either. Um, yeah. I think we're at 6. Obviously, you kind of referenced to it just a second ago. Coming off the devastation of Steve Bartman in '03, you had to wait 13 more years. 2016, the Cubs finally break the curse. There's a lot of people that are happy, happy, happy. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of people weren't able to see it. Uh, there's a lot of people that wish they could have seen it. A lot
Yeah,
of hey, I've seen all the videos. I've even known Cubs fans. There was a lot of crying and boo hooing and out of joy because they finally broke the curse. Definitely give props to the
yeah,
2016 Cubs. Anthony
man.
Rizzo was on that team. They had a hell of a squad, uh, and uh, and just like the '03 Marlins, next year they blew it all up. So yeah, thank you for breaking the curse. We can't afford all you guys. Gotta go.
Yeah.
We can't.
See, and that's yeah. Forget them Cubs team, man. Forget that team, man. They ain't do nothing.
Oh,
That was
it's because
supposed to be
who they
our
beat?
World Series. That was
Who they,
supposed to be us.
oh
Hey,
man,
like it was. Oh man, like I can't. If they would win that series, the city of Cleveland would not exist right now because we would have partied it off the map. Like, because not look, a couple months before that, the Cavs had won the championship, and they imagine following that up with the Indians winning the World Series. Man,
mm-hmm.
yeah, Cleveland would have fell into Lake Erie. It would have been going so good.
Said Cleveland would have fell into Lake Erie.
Yeah, man, you wouldn't have been able, man, back to back. Yeah, mm-hmm. So yeah, forget them damn Cubs. For me, I'm gonna go with another team that did not win, but watching the run was great. The 2002 San Francisco Giants
Mm.
lost the World Series 4-3 to the Angels. Barry Bonds got walked 13 times in this World Series.
Bro, big facts. They did not want to piss
The
him, bro.
the most walks in the history of the World Series by an individual. He had 8 hits. Out of the 8 hits, 6 were for extra bases. 4 home runs, 2 doubles. Meanwhile, the best player on the Angels, in time was Troy Glaus. The Giants served him up.
Mm-hmm.
They actually let him play baseball. I wonder
Sure
how
did.
the series turns out if the Angels would have let Barry Bonds play baseball. Like it was one of the most. It was one of the things that actually made me hate baseball. Just the absolute like we we support these athletes through the good and the bad, and when they rise to the the one thing that we're supposed to appreciate about them is that it's mano a mano. It's the best of the best against the best of the best. And in baseball is the only sport where you can literally blatantly duck the best player on the other team. You can blatantly just duck them. Like, and it was just such a disgrace to me for baseball.
Hey, that's what they do.
Like, yeah, get like,
Oh, Barry
and
Bonds is up.
Yeah,
Hey, give him the foe. Give him the foe. Keep him pushing because I refuse to let him change the whole dynamic of this baseball game with one swing. Nope. Keep
yeah.
pushing.
And I always thought that he should have been given the MVP. Like if he wasn't the most valuable player in that series, who was? Because they literally would not let him play. Like it's yeah. So and I wanted that team to win so bad because I wanted Barry to get a ring. And then
Oh
remember,
no.
this is the season. This wasn't even the '73 year. This was the year after '73. So yeah, shout out to the '02 Giants.
Yeah, man. That I remember that series. That was when Darren Baker, Dusty Baker's son,
Dusty, yeah.
when he ran out as the bat boy and almost got ran over, had to drag him out the way. And by the way, Darren Baker is a hell of a baseball player. I've seen some of his highlights since he's grown up since that point in time. Hell of a player. Um,
Mm,
well, I think we're at number 5. Yeah. Man. Hey, I gotta give it to was it 1990 Kirby Puckett twins?
oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Kirby was playing out of his mind. Brought him some championships.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, man,
Yep, 91.
yeah, 91. I think I was about 5 years old watching that series, and in awe of Kirby Puckett. Absolutely in awe of Kirby Puckett. God rest his soul. I just thought he was such a phenomenal baseball player.
That's why you stack your hidden lines so when they duck Barry Bond, they got. What you talking about? He had an MVP. Jeff Kent was an MVP batting right behind him. They didn't care. Babe Ruth
Yeah,
could have been batting behind Barry Bonds. They was walking him.
they was walking them. They
They walked the
literally,
man with the bases loaded.
yes, they didn't care. They was not going to let Barry Bonds ruin that series for him. They was like, all right, Jeff Kent, let's go. If you gonna get it, let's get it. But nah, man.
2022 Braves.
Yeah,
It was
because
a
they
good team.
now I give it to the Braves. They had my man Jorge Soler on there. He was a
Mm-hmm.
Royal at one point in time. So yeah, but no, definitely 91 Twins. I always love Kirby Puckett's career. Like I said, God rest his soul, but I definitely was a little young tyke, just in awe on how great he was. I think he ended up making one of those crazy catches in center field. Um, I think Minnesota had the plexiglass right there against the
Yeah.
wall back in the days, like it was hockey.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that, and he made a hell of a catch, man. I loved it. Loved it.
Which team? Which one are we gonna put up there? The dang it, I can't find them. I had them. So I gotta go back down. The '91 Braves.
Mm.
'91 Braves. That's no, that not that team. Not that team. Not that team. I am wrong. I can't find it. I know I had it written down. I'm bugging. Oh, that's it. Yeah, the 1994. Another team that didn't win.
Mm.
The 1994. Watch this one. Montreal Expos.
Got him. I remember that.
For people who do not know, the 1994 Montreal Expos might be one of the best teams to never win a World Series. and the reason was because of the freaking baseball strike. What people don't remember about the '94 season, they were like the best team in the National League. They had Pedro. Let me find this roster so I can list it off exactly. Before the strike happens, number one, they were in first place in the NL East. They were 74-40. Their manager was Felipe Alou, Moises' father. Moises was on the team.
Yep.
They had Cliff Floyd, Moises Alou, Marquise Grissom, Larry Walker, Will Cordero.
Was
who?
Vladimir Guerrero wasn't on there yet, was he?
Nah, Vlad wasn't on there. He might have been in the farm system. He could have been in the farm system. Then, of course, you had Pedro, young Pedro, who's 22 years old, and another pitcher named Ken Hill, who was their ace. They were projected to win the World Series that year, and then, of course, the baseball strike happened, and the team got decimated. Next thing you know, they're relocating to Washington and becoming the Nationals. The strike literally destroyed this franchise. And that season, though, you like, that was just such a match. I mean, the Indians were good. That whole season was just ruined by greed. Just call it what it is. Ruined by greed. It is the only season in history of Major League Baseball where the World Series was called off. Like, think about it. World Wars never stop the World Series. The pandemic didn't stop the World Series. But the 1994 MLB strike not only destroyed baseball, it destroyed an entire franchise. And that's crazy.
Yep.
It's Randy Johnson, Diamondback. Yeah, that was the team.
No, I was about to lead into that. My fourth pick, 01, Arizona Diamondbacks, coming right, out of nowhere, winning that championship, dramatic fashion. Game
strike
7.
happened to get baseball out of Canada, but you had the Blue Jays, so it's still in Canada.
Still there.
Still that team.
Yeah, man, great series. If you remember, of course, not too far removed from 9/11, the Yankees were in the World Series. Very patriotic scenes throughout every game. George Bush, president at the time, even threw out some first pitches. Yeah, man, that was probably the one of the most craziest World Series, and just the scenes that were going on. Crazy moments in times for Major League Baseball for sure. But in the way that it ended, Luis Gonzalez with the little blooper off from, this is prime Mariano Rivera. This is prime Inner Sandman. Like, you were lucky to get a hit off this guy, let alone him blowing saves. So great series. Went to 7. Blooper right off the end of the bat. He didn't hit it hard. It just had enough mustard on it for it to kind of leak out into the center field. And man, we talking about Kurt Schilling, Randy Johnson on that pitching staff. This is killer Randy Johnson when he was throwing balls 100 miles per hour in the middle of obliterating birds in spring training, like feathers flying. Randy Johnson. So man, that was a dope World Series. I definitely remember that very vividly as well too. So definitely loved it.
Absolutely. We got what we've been around talking about. Technically, Mariano was never out of his prime. He only had one pitch and smoked. No, he had 3 pitches, sir.
Yeah,
first of all, it just looked the same.
His cutter was so good that everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. But
and then he with the changeup after he ran that cutter up and in on you. Yeah, it's a done deal. He used to have motherfuckers eating at the palm of his hands, bro.
Yeah, definitely the GOAT relievers. For me, I'm gonna go with the 1986 New York Mets. Hey, Doc Gooden. That's all I gotta say. Doc Gooden, Darryl Strawberry. Doc Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, and cocaine brought you the greatest playoff run.
That's wild, bro.
It's facts though. Oh, that team, man. They won 108 games, 8-5 record in the playoffs. Uh, just to tell, like I said, you had Doc, Daryl Strawberry, Keith Hernandez. You know, you had some player Lenny Dykstra, a young Lenny Dykstra. You forget he started with the Mets, not the Phillies. Sid Fernandez, and I mean they had 5 pitchers win over 15 games.
Hmm.
Like they were stacked from top to bottom, led by Doc Gooden, who I don't know how he's not in the Hall of Fame. But it is what it is. So neither here nor there. But yeah, that team was one of the original fun teams to watch. And they had 30 for 30, man. Go check out 30 for 30. See how it all went wrong, man. But yeah, that team, Doc was probably the first of my generation. He was the first dominant black pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
You had a bunch of guys on at the plate who were getting the job done, but Doc is the first black pitcher I remember getting it done on the mound where it was like, this dude got it.
Yeah, he liked that.
Yeah. So
I
yeah, shout out to those guys.
I feel you. Definitely, for sure. 3. I'm going with the team that didn't win it. Man, the 2014 Kansas City Royals with a phenomenal run to the World Series. Went 7 with the Giants. But no, the way that they got in there, wild card win in dramatic fashion against the Oakland Athletics, end up, doing phenomenal things, dominant baseball, and then just ran into a juggernaut into the San Francisco Giants in the World Series. And there was a play where Alex Gordon, I'm like, man, run home. He was grounding the third and he stopped, and I thought he had more time. He probably would have got thrown out, not sure. But the next play, Salvador Perez popped up, and then Giants ended up winning that World Series. So phenomenal series. Had the city going crazy. I was living in Charlotte at the time. I was going crazy. I was checking in with all my family back here in Kansas City. And it's like, yo, the city is electric right now. But yeah, just fell a little bit short, man. Fell a little bit short.
But I ain't gonna swear. I'm pretty sure you got them on there, so I ain't gonna say nothing this time. I'm gonna go with the 1998 Yankees. Keep it in New York. 98 Yankees, 114 games, 11-2 postseason record. If you don't know the Yankees lineup, then I don't know what baseball you were watching back then. It's probably one of the more famous lineups. Not even necessarily because of power, just personalities, man. Obviously, you got the captain Jeter, you got Bernie Williams on those teams, Jorge Posada. The core of this team, probably, one of the more successful cores in baseball history. They would go on to win 5 World Series, and just their success as a unit. But I think this is probably the best team that they put together. That 98 year. They were special.
Yeah. And just to piggyback off that, as I go to my number 2, 98 Padres. We're talking about Tony Gwynn literally still being Mr. Hit everything. The problem is that he was the only thing that showed up and everybody else didn't. Bruce Bochy was the general manager, and if that name sounds familiar, just look at all those World Series titles in the 2010s that the Giants won. He was the manager of those teams. So, definitely a short-lived series, obviously, because the Yankees end up sweeping the Padres. Nobody Uh, we're talking about Trevor Hoffman, who probably was the second best catcher of that time, behind Mariano Rivera. He wasn't a factor to this series because, he was never in any closing situation. The Yankees dominated.
He got the boys up out of there.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Get them up out of there, man. So
Yeah.
definitely, I remember that series because I was a big fan of Tony Gwynn.
Mm.
But yeah, he was not enough. He needed a lot of help. A
Yeah.
lot of help. So just wasn't able to get it done. But I did love the run that the Padres went on to get there. They just ran into the juggernaut of the Yankees in the middle of that prime juggernaut years that they were, man. So
Yeah.
just couldn't do nothing.
Yeah. Only team that took games off of them was my Cleveland Indians, man.
Mm.
For me, my next one, I'm gonna go with the '07 Red Sox.
Mm.
11-3 in the playoffs. They swept the Rockies in the World Series, and heading into the World Series, the Rockies hadn't lost a game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the Rockies came in it's like on that high horse. Yeah, the Red Sox said, "Nah, we getting y'all up out of here."
Hold this broom, bitch. Oh yeah, hold that.
Yeah, again, one of the more talented teams. Obviously, you had who's it, Poppy. It's who I still. I mean, if you're gonna put him in the World Series, please get Barry Bonds in there. You know, it's only
Oh,
fair.
oh,
Kevin,
they just
Euclid.
they just put him in there. They just put him in there about a year ago, something like that.
Yeah, crazy Manny Ramirez was probably the only reason I followed that team because Manny former Indian, so I wanted to see him do well.
No doubt.
JD Drew,
Mm-hmm.
JD Drew, I don't know why was one of my favorite players. He was one of the first prospects I ever heard of, so I guess that's why he had a special place in my heart. Coco Crisp, another Clevelander on that roster. Like, man, the Red Sox stole some World Series from us because they took half our roster and made them Red Sox. Like,
Yeah,
we could have won so many World Series.
that's crazy. Dave Roberts, was he on that '07 or '04? I can't remember what team he was. I think he was on that '04 one.
Dave Roberts.
Yeah,
Nah, he wasn't on this one, so it had to be the '04.
yeah.
And this one, your veteran leadership was like Alex Cora, Royce Clayton was on the team, Willie Mopena, Marabelli, guys like that. Obviously, Beckett was on this team. Kurt Schilling. This was '07 was Pedro was gone. So their ace was, I mean, yeah, Beckett was their ace. You still had Shield on his last legs, and Daisuke Matsusaka.
Yeah.
He was
Ice K did
those are your arms.
he was big.
I think he had a long career. He just like his effectiveness wasn't what people thought it would be. Well, he had an 8-year career. He was really only effective for like 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. I went ahead and got his championship, but he was a monster in Japan though.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what got
absolutely.
yeah.
It's on you, Brody.
Numero uno. Yes, I'm
This
going with
guy.
the home squad. You already know I'm going with the home squad. 2015 World Series. Not only did we win it, we dominated those Mets 4-1. Uh, Man, it was absolutely a moment in my life I thought would never, ever, ever happen. I didn't ever think that the Royals. No, I'm being so serious. I thought I would never be alive to see the Royals win it because I've seen them lose a lot more in my lifetime than win. So multiple 100 loss seasons in my lifetime I've seen from the Royals.
Yeah,
Uh, the '04 series was great to see for them to get back-to-back World Series appearances and win it in 2015, the same year that my oldest was born. So I kind of chalk it up to the Royals that, hey, the good luck charm was Madison. So you're welcome. And man, a year I will never forget, man. The parade was crazy. They had probably nearly 1 million people downtown Kansas City. Uh, Blue everywhere. We looking like a whole gang of Crips in this bitch. Uh, it was dog. Like I said, a day I thought I would never, ever, ever see in my life. So definitely goes down as my number one for sure.
All right. Oh God, there we go. And yeah, that's what I was gonna say when you was talking about the other squad. That yeah, they went on to win the World Series next. But I had a feeling that you probably had them on the list, so I didn't want
Oh,
to
of
spoil
course, of course, gotta have that home
it.
squad
Oh
on
man,
there.
look, let me pull it off this list. Where we at? Where we at? Beam on man. So we at number one already.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I guess number one on my list would be the 1988 Los Angeles Dodgers.
Mm.
Uh, Weird because this team actually broke my heart. Baseball is all about the home runs, and I don't care who you were, where you lived. Every kid I knew was a fan of the A's. You had McGuire and Canseco and Ricky Henderson and
Yeah.
Dave Parker and Eckersley and them smacking everything out. Ricky Henderson stealing 2,000 bases. Like, yeah, like that was every kid I knew was a fan of the Oakland A's. So they went, like, it was like when they got to the World Series, it was like, it's a wrap. Of course they're going to win the World Series. Yeah, what happened? One of the most famous at-bats in baseball history. Bottom of the ninth, Kirk Gibson at the plate, Eckersley on the mound, and Kirk Gibson, he hocked to it on that thing.
No, he didn't. Wow.
uh, yeah, and that was it for the series, man. It's probably to me it's the most famous at bat of my generation in baseball. Um, they went on to go win it 4-1. Uh, every kid on earth was disappointed because we all wanted Oakland to win, but that Dodgers team was yeah. Steve Sachs, Mike Scioscia, who went on to be a great manager. Obviously, Kirk Gibson. The bull. You had Oral Hershiser, the bulldog in his prime. Like Fernando Valenzuela at the end, Don Sutton at the end, Tim Belcher prime. Like uh, it's a great team, and they deserve the victory. That was the first dis- baseball disappointment of my lifetime right there.
Mm.
But good, yeah, a lot of good memories. Is even still, man. Even though I don't. It's baseball isn't my favorite sport. It's just something about the baseball playoffs that
It's magical, bro.
yeah, like um, man, I think what it may be maybe watching baseball playoffs may be the funnest experience in all the sports because you have so much time to actually take it in from a visual standpoint. You know, it's like in watching basketball game, obviously it's so up and down and back and forth. You're into the game. So I'm not saying like you're not into any other sport, but you're into the game. But it's back and forth, and then timeouts, commercial break. Like everything stops until it's back in action. Football, same thing. It's like uh, you see a play and then that pause. You see a play, that pause, and you got the commentators. But baseball, watching a baseball playoff game is like you can feel everything. Like you hear the crowd, you hear the emotions of the stadium during the commentator while you're watching the pitcher get ready. You can see the nerves on their faces. You can see the intent on their faces, the intensity. You can just see everything, every single at bat. And it's just so much fun watching playoff baseball.
Yeah, no lie, no lie. I
Yeah.
mean, so many magical moments, man.
Yeah.
Even Aaron Boone when he was with the Yankees, Game 7,
Mm.
smacked that home run against the Red Sox.
Hmm.
Uh, they were pretty much left for dead. He turned into a folklore and ends up becoming their manager. I mean, literally.
Yeah. The
So
stories told. Was it when
yeah,
the Yankees lost the first two against the Braves, and you hear the story of Steinbrenner being pissed off and Joe Torre going up to him saying, "Listen, relax. We're gonna go home. We're gonna win two, and then we're gonna come back to Atlanta and win two more, and it's all over." And then they actually went out and did it.
hmm
Like, yeah, man, baseball playoffs of the playoffs will always have it over the other two, except for the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is top of the top. Oh, how'd that? Oh, I must have scrolled. There we go. All right, with that, man, that's our top 10 list. Go ahead add in the chat what teams you like. Of course, always hit us up and be part of the conversation on social media. At all ats listed below. And before we get up out of here, two things we got to do. One, go ahead fill you in on what you might have missed last night. If you missed out, shame on you, man. Tap in with us Thursday nights after Thursday night football. If you want to see our full breakdown of picks of the week, I'll just give you a quick run through of what you missed. Uh, Obviously, Tampa and the Falcons played last night. Great game. Shout out to the Falcons for pulling that out in overtime with the touchdown by Cordero Hodge. But as for Sunday's action, I've got the Jets going to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. We both like the Vikings to take that at home. I've got Carolina going to Chicago to take on the Bears. I like the Panthers on the road behind the Red Rocket. Martin likes the Bears at home. We got Baltimore going to the Jungle to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. We both like the Ravens to come out on top in that. Buffalo going down to Houston to take on the Texans. I like the Bills to rebound from their loss last week. Martin likes the Texans to go ahead and handle their business at home.
hmm
Got Indianapolis going down to Duval to take on Jacksonville. We both like the Colts to go down there and get that done. Dolphins going up to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. We both like the Patriots at home. A lot of turmoil going on up there, down there in Miami. The Browns going to Chocolate City to take on the Commanders. I like the Browns to get it done on the road. Martin likes the Commanders to take care of home field. The Raiders going to Mount High to take on the Broncos. We both like the Broncos. Take care of that business with that Mile High Magic. Cardinals going up to Levi to take on the 49ers. The Cardinals were fool's gold, as it turned out. We thought they'd be a scrappy team, but yeah, it's just not the case. We both like the Niners to get it done at home. Packers going to Lambeau West to take on the Rams. We both like the Packers to go in there and get the W. Giants going up to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. We like the Seahawks to defend home field. Sunday night action. Cowboys taking on the Steelers in Pittsburgh. We both like the Steelers to take care of home field. And of course on Monday night, close everything out. New Orleans Saints going out there to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. And we both like the Chiefs to handle their business at home.
hmm
See, on the season, we are both 35 and 29. Hey, send us your picks or follow along. Yeah, once again, hit us up on social media. Let us know how you're doing this season. And with that being said, it's that time of day. Sir, how are you? Do you need anything from me? How did I mess up? How did I mess up for Friday, man? I'm a jerk. How you doing? How are you? Do you need anything from me?
Man, I am doing fantastic. As you see the hat, my squad is in division series. We plucked the feathers off the most stinking ass Baltimore Orioles, took care of business, swept them in their building, let them know whose crib it is. We drank their Kool-Aid, smacked their old ladies on the ass, and put our foot up on the couch and the coffee table. Said, "This is our shit now. Now get up out of here." So they eliminated. And no, that makes me feel real good. Chiefs are 4-0. So in sports world, I'm doing good, man. It reverberates to everything else. So if the teams are doing well, it reverberates to everything else, and life is good. The family's nice and healthy and happy and fed and roof over their head and clothes on their back. So uh, only thing I need from you is I need you to talk to the Guardians. I need I'm gonna need you to have a talk, and I'm gonna need y'all to cool off them hot tigers. All right, I'm gonna need y'all to cool them off. Take care of them so we can get back on y'all. Because once we take care of these Yankees, we need to have a Cleveland, KC, ALCS, and we need to go ahead and get back on y'all. So talk to your squad, tell them to handle their business and cool off them Tigers because they kind of playing good ball right now. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know
are.
I don't know where it came from, but yeah, we need to go ahead and tell them to cool them off. But no, man, only thing I need from you is just always stay supportive, like always, and we're gonna keep cranking this thing up Thursday and Friday nights, man. So, how are you? How's everything? And anything you need from me, my brother?
Good, good. Nah, man, great week. The end of a great week is coming. Like I said, I got my daddy daughter date coming up in a couple hours. Going to check out the Joker 2. Um, yeah, this week's been good. Like I said, playoffs coming up. Guardians play tomorrow at 1:30, so I'll definitely be checking that out. My Las Vegas Aces, man.
I got some work to do tonight.
Yeah, they got some work to do. Hopefully they can get it done, extend the series. Like I say, a series ain't a series until somebody wins on the road. So let's hope that holds true. As far as you, man, man, just again, just keep me on task. Keep inspiring me to better myself. Push, iron sharp as iron.
Mhm.
Hey, the better we get in it, and let's take over the world. Um, the quote of oh no, I ain't time for that. Fit challenge. What you got for the folks?
Hey, I'm kind of stealing an idea from you. You're doing a
Oh,
daddy daughter date tonight. Um, if you have kids, take time out to spend just solo time with one of them. And so Bobby G kind of inspired me. Starting next week, I'm gonna go ahead and take one daughter out and have one hang with the wife, and then the next week we'll switch it up. So just making sure that um, you know your kids are still getting their personal time with each parent, just to kind of make sure you reconnect or make sure that you uh, gain or begin to make sure that you have that connection with each child. um I don't believe that you have a favorite child, even though as parents, I might tolerate one more than another. And that's not personal. It's just but I just want to make sure that all my kids feel the love from dads. um, I need them all to
Scott.
understand daddy loves you all right.
Glad you get that off your chest, sir.
Hey Ryan, your
Glad,
fit
glad.
challenge is to become just at least uh you know uh uh, uh just good co-parents. All right, that's your mental challenge, bro. There's no
No.
point that you gotta say that in the chat, dog.
Shout out to Ron. No, Ron be doing this thing. I said, beautiful daughter. If you follow him on Instagram, man, they do lots
Funny.
of things together. Yeah, they say as crazy as he is, man. He gets his dad. He gets his dad duties taken care of. So, man, shout out to Ron for that.
Hey, always
Um,
respect that, always.
for me, I'm gonna challenge people to do this week. Think of think of one mistake that you've made. Not a huge, not a life altering. Not don't go deep and dig. Just think of a simple mistake that you made, something easily correctable, and try to correct that this week with someone else. Not the same, but if you made a mistake with somebody else, just think of something you made a mistake on, and go ahead and correct that with someone else this week. This which we comparing great, but it's still.
I can't.
Oh
That's amazing.
man, I mean, I know some of that story, so I'm just yeah. But yeah, think of a mistake you made. Just try and correct that with somebody this week. Um, with that being said, now I'll go ahead and give the quote of the week. It's coming from Greenville Kleiser. Good humor is a tonic for mind and body. It is the best antidote for anxiety and depression. It is a business asset. It attracts and keeps friends. It lightens human burdens. It is the direct route to serenity and contentment. I'll say that again. Good humor is a tonic for mind and body. It is the best antidote for anxiety and depression. It is a business asset. It attracts and keeps friends. It lightens human burdens. It is the direct route to serenity and contentment. And yeah, thank you Greenville for that one, man. Honestly, I'm 100% with that because man, we all want to be surrounded by people uh, who lift uplift our mood, man. You don't want to go into a room where everybody has a shitty attitude. So yeah, man. Uh, find the good humor in yourself and find it in others, man. Bring out that light in yourself and others. What you got for the folks when we get out of here, man?
Hey man, hey, that was well said, my brother. But you know what it is, man. Y'all bring y'all asses on back and come mess with the dynamic duo next week, Thursday and Friday. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. You know what it is. Let's go.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I say, they already know what I'm about to say. Please, before we get out of here, do me one last favor. First of all, I appreciate everybody for the likes today and everybody in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
But one last time, before you get out of here, go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Turn your notifications on so you know the next time that we are here and you can be heard, which is every Friday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And just in case you don't like looking at our beautiful faces, remember, you can catch every episode at midnight via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and most recently, iHeartRadio. So, yep. So, for myself and Wildcard Mar, um, you heard it, man. Take care of yourselves and each other, and just watch 20 minutes of killer television.
That's
20
it.
minutes. Don't watch like hours. Don't binge watch serial killers. Just watch like an episode and cut it off for the day. We don't want y'all to all turn into psychopaths and murderers because you just sitting up and watch. So yeah, one episode, turn it off, pick it up the next day.
And don't binge purchase baby oil. We think something wrong with
Oh,